Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 72 of Page Valley Living. Today we're talking about Page County High School athletics, and it has been a year of historic achievements. Of course, the wrestling program took a big step up. We're going to be talking with head coach Greg Martin in just a moment, and Kaylee Campbell, who had a very special historical moment in high school wrestling and in Page County wrestling that was announced this week. We're going to be talking about that later in the show, but we do want to give a shout out to the Page County boys soccer team that fell on Monday to Stewart's Draft after hosting their first ever region quarterfinal. It's the first year they've had 10 wins. A great season there for Coach Tyler Knight and his boys. The Panthers did outstanding. And how about that Page County softball team losing 7 players to graduation last year, 2 of which are playing collegiate ball now. And what does Coach Alan Knight do but reload? They won their 20th win of the season just recently on Monday, and on Wednesday today when we're filming, they're going to be hosting a region semifinal against Strasburg. Win that game, they'll get a ticket back to the state tournament after an absence last year and a ticket to the Region 2B championship on Friday. So we're going to root for Alan Knight and the Panthers. Go Panthers. We hope to be covering them on Friday in the championship. But today, we're talking about history making with the Page County Wrestling Program. We'll be back with episode 72 of Page Valley Living right after this.
Hawksbill Assisted Living in Luray is now accepting new admissions. Hawksbill Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, offers quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, and veterans aid and attendance. Come visit Hawksbill Assisted Living, located near the beautiful Hawksbill Greenway in Luray. Call for a tour today or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're here in the Page County Wrestling Practice Facility out behind Page County Middle School, and we are filming today episode 72 of Page Valley Living on Wednesday, and we're going to be airing it later tonight on Wednesday, June the 4th. Well, I want to say thank you to both of you for joining us today. Coach Greg Martin with Page County Wrestling and Kaylee Campbell, a wrestler that has something very special to announce this week. We're going to be talking about a little bit more about that in the second segment. But we're going to talk right now about this program, Coach Martin. I tell you, first of all, you have helped me in coverage quite a bit. You are really out there for your wrestlers, sending information, sending pictures, and we have appreciated that as a media outlet. But how long have you been with the Panthers as wrestling coach?
My first year was 2018, the second year of the program. The first year they had it, I had an Achilles surgery, so I couldn't coach. I had to sit on the sidelines. So I actually came in the second year. I was Joey Soltis' assistant coach.
And as any new program, you saw some lean years.
Oh yeah, it was. We had 8 or 9 wrestlers the first couple years. It's a new sport. People don't know much about it, and it dominating Shenandoah District. It was in the Shenandoah District, River Hills, and they pretty much ruled the district.
Yeah.
And them kids club wrestle. And our kids never wrestled. So it's hard to go out there against kids who've been wrestling since they're in kindergarten. So and a lot of kids didn't want to stick around because they didn't like getting beat. So they wouldn't come back the next year. But it got better and better.
Well, I was going to say, you always seem to take a little and do a lot. Yeah. You've had kids go to state wrestling tournaments several times. In fact, this year, the senior Jordan Hedrick made his 4th appearance at the state tournament. Michael Shiflett took 5th place at that meet down in Bristol, Virginia, at Virginia High School at the VHSL State Championships Class 2. Shiflett, great wrestler. He's doing well for you. And he's got 1 more year, 2 more?
Got 1 more year left.
1 more year left. And, of course, Jordan is a senior as well.
He graduated Kaylee.
And how about this lady right here now? She got 6th place back in late February at the VHSL Girls State Wrestling Tournament that was held in Henrico Sports Complex. Now, one thing that I'm interested about, what got you into wrestling?
Nothing really piqued my interest in it, but, I heard about it, so I was like, oh, let me do that.
Well, let me ask you this. Why did you stick with it? What do you enjoy about it?
Probably, how hard you had to push yourself to succeed in this. So.
Well, it's very interesting, and we're going to talk a little bit about you becoming the first wrestler at Page County High School that's going to go on to compete at the collegiate level. We're going to talk about that in detail. You got the shirt on. I'm loving that, loving the colors, loving the team there, and we're going to talk details about that in just a moment. But Coach, I want you to tell me a little something. There's a lot of, you've got a lot of gutsy wrestlers out there, and what kind of this season, what turned the corner? Because you guys took a step up this year. What made you turn the corner?
Well, people stepped up. Say Kaylee didn't have a good night. Yeah. You would have a freshman step in and pick up a win.
Right.
So you've seen a lot of people, they came together, gelled together. You can see the excitement on the sidelines. And I had to be less coaching this year because they coach one another.
Right.
So I like that part of it.
And if I'm not mistaken, you've had individuals do well in the past, but as a team, you were actually able to clock enough points and fill enough slots to compete as a team this year.
Yeah, like last year we're good. Injuries hurt us in the past. Right. This year we seem to stay healthy.
Right.
And we won the close matches, like 39-35. Them matches we didn't win in the past.
Right.
Because we just, our kids just weren't mature enough. Right. Having captains like Kaylee and Jordan and the rest of them, they made these kids stepped up. And and you can see it. I did less coach. I enjoyed it. Like Kaylee, I just let her do her thing. I let her say, you're getting in trouble, back up, but I just let her do her thing. Right. And I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, you've got a lot of good wrestlers, but now what makes Kaylee one of the ones that stands out? What makes her, as we said, she got 6th place at the state tournament. And what do you think that a college coach saw in her to give her an opportunity?
Heart. Man.
That's all right. It just shows you care. It shows you care. Well, Kaylee, I'm going to give a coach just a second to compose himself, and I'm going to ask you, when were you first approached and thought that this might even be a possibility?
Well, I looked at the Apprentice School, the start of my senior year, and I was iffy about it. But then my dad told me that they reached out to me, and I was like, oh wow, this could actually be a possibility because I can do basically everything I love, wrestling and welding at the same time. Right.
Two birds with one stone. Yeah. That's right. And like I said, we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the second segment. But so have you met the coach yet?
There's actually a whole bunch of coaches.
Oh, okay.
So I've met Chad Simmons, I've met Messick, I've met Sorey, I've met Mosley.
Okay.
I've met there's a lot down there.
How many years you been under this guy?
4.
Yes.
4 years.
Yeah.
What has he taught you that's most important off the mat?
Off the mat, sportsmanship, and not giving up.
What's the most important thing he taught you on the mat?
On the mat, you got to find a dog in you.
Yeah. We're talking about a girl. Her first 2 years, she was 2-37. Her last 2 years, she went 48-19. That just goes to show you.
Say that again?
48-19.
48-19.
She always had a drive in her. She always wanted to get better. And me and her, man, we butted heads a lot. Yeah. I said, if you want to get better, you got to go to club wrestling. You got to do it year round because she's in a sport that's dominated by boys. Wrestling. But, man, I tell you what, I put my money on her last 2 years. I expected bonus points out of her. The first 2 years, I was hoping to get a forfeit.
Right.
But the next year, I'm expecting her to win with bonus points. It's a done deal.
Well, Coach, you've had a lot of wrestlers in 9 years. Let's try this one again. What gets you so emotional when you talk about this one?
Well, she's a senior. She's been around. She was around when my kid was wrestling, and and it's it. It's just more about wrestling with these kids.
Yeah.
It's everything. If you come to a wrestling match, I'm the first one who jumps up in the air. I look like a fool on the sidelines, but I just get that excited. And the parents, I'll probably get the parents mad. I jumped her dad for feeding her too much food one time. Not out of being a butthole, but she just died on me after she won the match. And I was like, but I'm just competitive. But I love the kids. It ain't all. I'm just passionate about what I do. It ain't all. And I think the parents understand what kind of person I am, so they kind of like, okay, this is Greg being Greg.
The word family is not just a word on a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, they're family. I love all these kids. It's more than just wrestling in this room. And that's why we're so successful. These kids know that I love them. You know, they give me, I get 100%. I demand 100%. I mean, and they give me 100% every time. This girl here, I mean, if you'd have watched her wrestle her freshman year, and I hate to say, she was terrible. Not because she didn't have it, because she wanted to win so bad.
Right.
She had to drive, and I said, Kaylee, it takes time.
Patience,
and man, it's just like from her in her sophomore year, her junior year, I was like, damn. Excuse me. This girl's done turned her game on.
Yeah.
She done turned to. I'm expecting her, and she made the state tournament. First girl ever made the state.
Right.
And last year she got hurt.
Right.
I don't know, a week before the district. I can't remember exactly when her knee went out. But she never said nothing to me. She practiced. And, you know, she went on these balling me. You know, you get banged up at the end of the year. You know, everybody's got injuries. But this was more than this injuries. They kept her out of the girls' state. It's like a month. But you would never do it in this wrestling room. She never complained. She didn't say nothing. Right. She just Kaylee being Kaylee. I mean, she'll get up there when she's hurt. She won't let me know nothing. Yeah. So I can just have that much heart the rest of my kids. I mean, I'm a really messer, so.
Well, I bet you're not going to be the only one. When we come back in just a moment, we're going to talk about where Kaylee is headed this fall and where she's going to be wrestling at the collegiate level. We'll talk about all of that and more after a word from our sponsor.
Whispering Pines Assisted Living is now accepting new admissions. Quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, memory support, and short-term respite stays are all offered by Whispering Pines Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, where home and heart meet. Call for a tour today on Leakesville Road in Luray or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here talking with head wrestling coach Greg Martin and Kaylee Campbell, a senior wrestler that is headed off to the Apprenticeship School in Newport News. And as we talked about in the first segment, you're going to get two benefits out of this, right?
Yep.
Now, how long have you been a welding student at Page County Technical Center?
I've been there for 2 years.
For 2 years. And you know what? And you're going to go now down in probably one of the biggest shipbuilding centers, one of the biggest probably in the world. And I'm kind of curious, you know, because sometimes these trades, they don't get their due respect.
Yeah.
Have they shared with you what a starting welder might make out of a school like this?
Yes, sir. So I've when I applied and all that, and when I got committed, they sent the thing. Mm-hmm. I'll be starting off around $22.39, and the first 2 years I'll get a pay increase every 3 months, and for the next 2 years, for like the last 2 years, I'll get it every 6 months. So like after the 4 years, I'll top off around like $40 an hour.
Why did I go into journalism? My goodness, wow. Yeah. That's incredible. Congratulations. That is outstanding. And are they, because you're wrestling, do you get any help with tuition? You don't have to tell us. I know it's a sensitive.
There is no tuition.
There is no tuition.
There's no tuition. I get paid to learn.
Whoa, my goodness. Now I know I chose the wrong career. Wow, that is fantastic. So what is it that got you, we talked about wrestling, but what got you into welding?
Welding? First of all, it was the money. That was the thing. I was like, I heard of it. I was like, the money. I was like, okay. But then throughout the 2 years of learning it with my welding teacher, Charles Morris, I've just fell in love with the trade. So it's not even just for the money. Well,
you know, it's kind of interesting because I'm sure that as a female, you are probably not a whole lot of other female welders, maybe. I'm sure there's some, but maybe not that many. And not that many female wrestlers. Yeah. Do you feel kind of special or kind of proud in any particular way to be you're a bit of a trailblazer here.
Yes. Yes, I am proud. I'm proud of what I've done throughout the whole years. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really good in what I've done. I can't wait for the future because I have a lot more to come and hopefully a lot more to accomplish.
Well, I tell you what, I need sunglasses because I believe your future is quite bright.
Yeah.
But, Coach, I'm going to tell you what, I'm interested in, and I'm not sure what parent reached out to me, but a parent reached out to me this year to talk about how VHSL handles girls wrestling. If you could speak openly, I mean, what did they need to do that they're not doing now? Because I know they have a separate tournament, but I'm wondering why there isn't just one wrestling tournament with both, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, they've been in girls wrestling right now. All 6 classifications, you got one state champ. That's how it's been until this coming up here. They're going to break them down in classifications.
Okay.
Now, we're a top 6 school, all 6 classifications together.
Right.
But if they went all 2A, we'd have won the state as a team. We would.
So you're saying they take Class 1,
And
somebody like Rappahannock or I don't even know if they have wrestling, and then you take a Northern Virginia school, and they're all together?
Well, let's use Kaylee, for example. She wrestled number 2 girl in the state in the quarterfinals. That's what got her on the podium. She upset the number 2 girl from Calgon High School, which is 5A. She would never saw that girl had she been 2A.
Now, but the boys are broken down into classifications, right?
Yes.
So that's probably the main argument that needs to be changed.
And I think they sanctioned this year. So what I'm aware of right now, they're going to be 1A and 2A. They're all going to be separated. I wish it had been like it this year, but they're trying to make. There's so many more girls coming out now. They're trying to make this where girls are just going to wrestle in their own classification.
Right.
But I think they're going to run the problem that you're going to have some classifications. They're not going to have a lot of girls. They got 600 some this year, but that's all 6 classifications.
Right.
So they're going to run in these state tournaments 1, 2, 3, 4 that you might only have 5 people in the whole weight class in the whole state tournament because these girls have got to separate now.
Wow.
In their classification, which maybe more girls will go out now since girls are wrestling this girls.
Yeah.
You might have more girls come out.
I mean, I can't imagine, for example, Kaylee, if you know, and I know different sports are different things, but can you imagine our football team playing a 5A football team? But you went to Henrico, and you wrestled a 5A and beat a 5A competitor. What was your feelings or thoughts at the time?
Well, I didn't think I was gonna upset her. I was going into that match like, man, I'm gonna lose this match, and then we had to restart like the first period, and then I don't know, just something clicked. I saw her leg sticking out from like behind me. I said, "You're mine." I grabbed it, and then that's when I started putting on the pace, and I just
that was the best match she's ever wrestled.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, my God, she was almost tech following her.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was like about 11, and then all of a sudden, she got the girl down on her back, and then the referee made it break the move. Right. And I mean, I lost it. I went off on this referee. I said, because the girl screamed, but she didn't have an illegal move, and all Kaylee had to do was set her. That girl wasn't getting up. Kaylee had her squeezed. She wasn't going nowhere.
That sounds like a tap out.
I was mad. I came up out of that chair, and I said, a couple of choice words, and I told Kaylee was getting tired. I said, Kaylee, for the love of God, you better not lose this match. But Kaylee's been doing this long enough. She gives me gets my blood pressure up all the time. but I know she's gonna get it done. I can tell she wasn't gonna lose the match. She was looking at the clock, and I'm getting mad because I'm saying she was dominating this match, and he let her reset, and then this kind of like just changed momentum. Gave the girl a little bit of momentum, and then I said, and I can see Kaylee started. You can see Kaylee waking up now. I got this, coach. And
as she heads off to college to wrestle for the Apprenticeship School in Newport News, Virginia, what do you think are a couple of her best qualities or traits that she will take to the mat at the next level?
She's excellent on her feet. She's one of the best at neutral. And if you're good at neutral, you got a chance to win the match. I mean, she's been in the top 2 as far as takedowns, and she takes the boys down. I'm not just talking about girls. She takes the boys that should beat her. She takes down. I'm gonna tell you something. She lost to a couple kids her sophomore year, pretty bad. She came back the next year and just totally dominated. I had one kid from Central Cover says she's got good. Right. I'm like, yeah. She's so good on her feet. She'll always have a chance to be successful because if you're good on your feet, especially college, because a lot of times they wrestle on their feet. They don't want to be on the mat.
Right.
And now since takedowns are 3 instead of 2,
right.
She won her first match in the state tournament 15-0. It wasn't 50 seconds in the match, the girl was done. Just because she took her down, let her up and put her back, it was over like that.
Wow.
So,
as you get ready to head to college, Kaylee, what do you think is the number one thing you're going to have to work on to be able to compete at the next level?
Work on? I would say that there's not much that I should work on, but like there's stuff I need to improve on.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Getting the moves down even better, getting the cardio back up, all that. So. Well,
let me ask you this, and we might close out on this one. You know, you've You've set some records here, certainly for female wrestlers at Page County High School. You've set a new standard. I think the team as a whole has taken a step forward and set a new standard for the program. How does it feel to you to kind of leave a legacy here at your high school, and how do you want to be remembered?
I wouldn't say, like, I didn't feel like I left a legacy, but it's all around now. Yeah. It's all around. So, I guess it feels pretty good. I feel like it feels pretty good to be like one of the ones that started the girls wrestling around here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two before me, Elizabeth Ramos and Karma Gwynn. Mm-hmm. But then it was them two, and then it was me, Mackenzie Painter, and Kayla Pence. Like, we're the ones that kept it going. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's.
And Randy, she's getting ready to wrestle the national competition.
That's right. I mean,
saw
she
just don't do stand up. She wrestles national. She goes to nationals and does good.
That's going to be the Virginia national team at the USA Wrestling National Championships in Fargo, North Dakota. And they say that the tournament is just known as Fargo. Yeah. I know it has nothing to do with the film, but why is it so well known just by the city?
Because it's the biggest wrestling tournament in the U.S.
The best of the best in high school?
Yep.
That was where, when I was in high school, that's where we went. It was Fargo Dome. I mean, that tournament's been around for a long time.
I guess you got to be invited.
No, you got to qualify to get it. You got to qualify in the state. You just don't get a ticket to that. You got to qualify.
And how did you qualify? By finishing sixth?
No, there was a different states, freestyle states.
This is Olympic wrestling. This is USA wrestling, so it's different wrestling. So she wrestled freestyle and Greco-Roman. Also, she's getting all three parts of the wrestling, not just the folk style, the high school level.
It said it was going to be held this summer. Do you know when?
It's going to be held in July.
In July. You ever been that far west?
Yes, I went there sophomore summer.
Oh, okay. Okay, to the tournament?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got a little experience. Well, wonderful. Well, I'll tell you, we wish you the best. And any parting thoughts for your fellow? Because now you're going to walk the stage here in about 3 days. Yeah. On Saturday, 6 p.m. is the Page County High School graduation. 10 a.m. on Saturday is Luray High School graduation. So if you were able to go up there and take the microphone and talk to your 106 or 105 fellow graduates, what would you say to them, to the class of 2025, as you head out to be a shipbuilder, make a whole lot of money, and just dominate on the wrestling match? Matt?
I would probably say, like, good luck to everyone and what they do, because, I don't know, high school was a lot for me. So, I have friends, but not really. I just talk to people there. So I'm pretty much a lone wolf, but like everyone's super nice at the school, basically. What's
the one thing you want to accomplish, both on the mat and maybe in the classroom, when you go off to the apprenticeship school?
Well, I'd probably want to win be a champ down there for the big national tournaments that they have, and then classroom-wise, I'd probably say, I don't know, just being a 4.0 plus student again, like how I was here. Wow. Well, that's pretty good goals to have, and we wish you the best of luck. Hey, folks, Kaylee Campbell, a future champion collegiate wrestler here. Right. Coach Martin, thanks so much for being with us. Continued luck and progress with the wrestling program here at Page County High School. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the episode 72 of Page Valley Living right here. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News right there on YouTube. We want to thank Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera and in the editing room this week. And as always, we want to remind you to go down to the Page County Animal Shelter and help one of our furry friends find a forever home. Until next week, for Coach Greg Martin, for Kaylee Campbell, I'm Randy Arrington saying, enjoy that Page Valley living.